Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to my channel. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button below. Today, we're going to continue the interview that we started last week with Dr. Frederick. But before I continue, I like to let you know that I now have a website. Details of the website is available under the description of this video, and the web address is www.mygreencardstory.com. Please go on my website and subscribe for my newsletter. You can find that on the home page. At the bottom of the home page, there's a subscribe button there. Type in your name and click on subscribe. The last thing I want to talk about before I start the interview with Dr. Frederick is the fact that I'm organizing a seminar where I'm going to talk about the current trend for EB2-NIW. That seminar will hold either the last week of this month or in early August. So for you to know when the exact date when the seminar will take place, please go on each of my social media platform on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and subscribe, because when I fix the date, I'm going to post the flyer on those platforms, and so that you will know when the seminar would take place. Okay, so let's start this interview. So, Dr. Frederick, let's dive in. So, during our last meeting, we talked about how you filed for EB2-NIW and your petition was approved.
Yes.
And you filed as a medical doctor.
Yes.
And you leverage on the fact that you helped to work on one of the vaccines that was used for COVID-19.
Correct.
So in today's interview, I'll focus more on your adjustment of status, how you went about it, the challenges you experienced, and how you're able to navigate the adjustment of status process.
Okay.
So the first set of question is, when did you file your adjustment of status form?
So I filed. So I got the first approval in February, and then I filed like a month later. That was in March.
So you got the approval in February 2021, right?
Yeah, February 2022.
2022, and you filed your adjustment of status in February.
Sorry, February 2021. Sorry, February 2021.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
February 2021. Yes, that's when I got. Yes.
So from time you turn in your adjustment of status form, how long did it take USCIS to approve your EAD card?
So my EAD card. So the thing is, I had a whole bunch of challenges.
Okay.
So yeah, I had a whole bunch of challenges, but I think it took, because I turned it in in March, and then April. So my EAD card was sent to me in June. Yeah, I think June. Yeah, June. That was when my EAD card was sent. Yes.
Okay, good. So I remember when you were trying to get your EAD card, you had some challenges, and that was because you had like an offer for your residency.
Honestly,
you were still waiting for your EAD card. So yeah. How were you able to kind of speed up the process, or how did you try to get your EAD card faster?
All right. So I'll try to summarize this as quick as possible. So the thing is, I got my approval in February. A month later, in March, I filed. In June, for the first time, my EAD card was meant to be mailed to me. And so, I got this notification that, this tracking number from USCIS that my card has been mailed to me and everything. And, it was just for me to, just to keep track of it. So I kept tracking this thing. And then I was supposed to get it on a Friday. I can't forget. It was supposed to be on a Friday. And then for some reason, I lost track. Like I could no longer track it. It was really, really devastating to me because I was meant to start residency like 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, I was supposed to start residency. And then now this is me with no work authorization. My work authorization that was supposed to be mailed is mailed and I cannot find it. And, I went to the USPS office at that point in time. They were like, yes, we saw that, you had the mail that was coming, but for some reason we can't find it. And I was like, this is in America. Like, how can you tell me like that is not acceptable? How can you tell me that in America, I have a mail that's meant to be delivered and then you can't find it? And so at that point in time, it was very devastating, like I said. And then I started trying to seek other alternatives, other options, like how can I be able to solve this whole situation? And it was that point in time that someone told me about you, that's, the Bubbler, told me about Bubbler and your dedicated team and how, you guys help, individuals, for their EB2, national interest waiver, green card and all that. And so the person told me how you had helped them to be able to secure their own green card as well. And I was like, oh, wow, that's great. And, that was when I think that was the first time that I reached out to you. And I told you about my predicaments, all the things that I was going through and how I needed to really get this green card sent to me so that I could start residency, because, trying to get residency in this country is very difficult. And I know what other doctors in this country would tell you, especially as an international medical graduate, what they have gone through to be able to get to that point. So it's like me getting to that point and then someone is taking it from me. Nigerians will say your village people are after you. And I was like, could this be my village people that are coming after me? What's going on here? And then, I met you, and then I remember that you gave me some couple of advice. You told me about the ombudsman, I should try to reach out to ombudsman, fill a couple of forms online and, try to also call USCIS at that point in time to let them know that this is the situation. And, this was the situation that I found myself. And, those advice that you gave me at that point in time, together with your team, that was actually what really helped me. Because I feel the ombudsman form told them, how as I'm a medical doctor, I need to start residency. I need this green card as soon as possible. Without this, I won't be able to, do what I'm supposed to do. And then I also called the USCIS office, and within no time, USCIS was like, okay, they'll try to see what they can do and possibly send me another a card that could help, another work authorization card. So those were that was really, really a very, very difficult time. And at the end of the day, there was also this woman, this director of the building that I was living at that point in time, that also put in some words for me, called the the post office, and putting all this together, calling the post office with the advice from you. At the end of the day, they were able to find the card. And that was how all this was able to be resolved. Yeah, it's a long story, but I just try to make it as short as possible.
I understand. So I'll just quickly clarify something that you said. So you said I help people to secure their green card. I actually don't help people. I'm not helping anyone to secure their green card. So basically, what I do is when Frederick called me, I shared my experience, because I had a similar experience with USPS. So I remember, and it was with my EAD card. So I think I checked I tried to track my EAD card, and I found out that USPS has sent it back to USCIS. So when I contacted USCIS, they said that USPS said they could not deliver my card to my apartment because they could not access my apartment.
Oh, your apartment, okay.
Yeah, so that was the excuse that they gave. And I said, no, that's wrong. I get mail from USPS every day. In fact, the day that that USPS attempted to deliver my card. I got the mail from them, but they refused to deliver my EAD card. And that was very annoying for me. So it was based on, so when you called me, I gave you my advice based on my experience. I told you what I did, how I went, how I was able to resolve that issue. And you also you decided to follow the same process. So I don't help people to secure green card. I just share my experience.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Okay. So so you said you were about to start your residency when this happened. So I remember that at that time you had OPT. So why didn't you use your OPT to start your residency? Number one. Then I also remember that the hospital wanted to move you to a J1 visa. Why did you not consider the J1 visa that the hospital was offering you?
Okay, so the first question, why didn't I use my OPT? So I couldn't use I was on a STEM OPT at that point in time. So I couldn't use that because the hospital that I got that I matched into for my residency, they don't accept the OPT. So OPT to them is like you're still a student. Yeah, so they don't consider the OPT. I couldn't use it within that hospital. So the second question is about the J1. So yeah, so I didn't get the card. The card wasn't delivered. The green card wasn't delivered to me. My STEM OPT is not going to be acceptable by the institute, by the hospital. So the other option was the J1, which was offered to me. Now, I didn't accept the J1 because I felt like I already got accepted for a green card. Like, so if I've been accepted for a green card, why do I want to go to a J1? And then the thing with the J1, based on my understanding, I might be wrong, but based on the understanding I have about the J1 is, with the J1, it limits you, you can't really like work because there's a clause to it. So the thing is, by the time you are done, I think you have to like go for a J1 visa, a J1 waiver, in like some rural community, as a doctor. And, so that was one of the limitations to the J1, which, I didn't want to. Then I think the other limitation is as a medical doctor, and these are things that I'm not 100% certain about. Yeah, but I think one of the other limitation is because as a medical, during the residency program, I think in your second or third year, there's something we call the moonlighting. So moonlighting is, outside of your normal work hours, you could also get like extra hours to work, which you get paid for. So with the J1 visa, you won't be able to moonlight. Yeah, which was something that I didn't want to, get myself involved with that. I want to be able to moonlight, during my second, third year residency to be able to get like, extra money to take care of like, my personal needs. So these were the reasons why I didn't want to go the J1 route, despite the fact that was offered to me.
Okay, wow, that's very, very, very interesting. Yeah. So there was one question that just came to my mind. When you were trying to get your EAD card from USPS,
yes,
I remember that you had already signed up for Informed Delivery. So yes, for those that don't know what Informed Delivery is,
that is correct.
You can go to USPS website and sign up for a service called Informed Delivery. It's free. What that Informed Delivery is that anytime USPS is about to deliver a mail to your house or apartment, they will take a picture of that mail and send it to your email. So that kind of give you it provides an information about what's coming to your box. Okay. So and in the case of Frederick, you just share the experience because USPS sent you that Informed Delivery and you saw the picture of the mail that carries your EAD card, but still they claim that they can't.
Exactly. Exactly. So that is the funny part, and that was what was really heartbreaking. Like, I'm already seeing that my green card is coming, like everything is coming. I've been tracking this thing, it has gone through everything. So, and now he's in New Orleans, which was where I was at that point in time. Now he's in New Orleans, and then all of a sudden I just lost track of it. And it said it was delivered in the post office. And now I've gone to the post office, and at the post office are telling me that my mail is not there. At some point, I almost ran mad in the post office. Like, what are you saying? What do you mean that my mail is not in the post office? Do you know how important this mail is? To them, it might just be like an ordinary email, but this is not an ordinary mail to me. This is everything. You know, so I think that informed delivery really was what made me understand, and what made me, give me the how would I put it now? So I think that the informed mail, right?
Give like the information
exactly. That was what gave exactly. That was what I was trying to do. So that was what gave me the information that I had a mail delivered to the post office, because if I didn't have the informed delivery, then there's no way I would have known that I had a mail that was even delivered in the post office. I would have just been sitting, just waiting, and then the mail never comes, and then I'm like, what's wrong? You see? Yeah. So I'm going to advise that anyone who does not know about the informed delivery, who has not signed up for informed delivery, should please do that. That saved me a lot, and that is still saving me up to this very day in the US.
And it's so funny that when you went to USPS and they said they couldn't find your card, I remember we had this conversation, and I told you to ask them, where is that machine? The machine that scans the email. Where exactly is that machine? Because that machine is in New Orleans. That means the mail is in New Orleans. You know?
Exactly, because the machine had already scanned it and showed that the mail was delivered in New Orleans. You say, so where is it? And I feel like it's just, I don't want to say carelessness on their own part, but at the end of the day, after so much pressure and, going through so much, all these other routes and doing everything, at the end of the day, they were able to produce the mail. So where did they find the mail from? It means everything was in that same office this whole time.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about your green card. When was your green card approved? Then did you have like similar challenge getting your green card?
Honestly, I had a similar challenge. I was like, when that happened, I was like, oh, this is my village people. You are really coming, but where you won't see me. I'm just trying to be funny. But yeah, so the day the green card came, or the day when the green card was being mailed, so I was actually tracking it, through the informed delivery and all this kind of stuff. And then it was also on a Friday, and then all of a sudden it wasn't delivered. I could no longer track it. That was when the green card was coming. I was like, why? What's happening? This was exactly what happened when the EAD, the work authorization card, was mailed. And so what's happening? And I remember that day I was supposed to travel to Nigeria, and then I went down to the post office, and I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, I'm supposed to get this, it's not coming. And they were like, oh, maybe it's because it's a weekend and that it's going to come. And then I went back home, and then I think the following day or thereabout that was on a Saturday. And then I, just out of curiosity, I was like, okay, let me just go to my mailbox. It's not like it showed me delivered. It didn't show me delivered, but I was like, oh, let me just go to my mailbox. So I went to my mailbox, and then I just saw the mail. It was there, and I was, so excited. And I was like, oh, wow, everything is, this is real.
Right, that was good. And so when exactly was your green card approved? Was it in 2022?
Yes, it was just December of last year.
Yeah, so it took about how many months from the time you turned in your I-485 to get your green card?
So because I turned in my I-485 in March, but the thing is that, okay, so I turned it in March of 2021, right? So March of 2021, but it took, by June, I'd gotten the EAD card.
That's so June 2021.
June 2021. So from June 2021 down to December of 2022.
Wow. So that means it took over 8 months before you got your green card. From the time you turned in your form I-485.
From the time I turned in my
over 18 months.
Yeah, it took over 1 year. Yeah. From the time I turned in the form 485, I-485, right?
From I-485, you turned in your
adjustment of status, right?
In March 2021, and you got your green card in December 2022. So that's over 18 months.
Exactly. Okay. That's what it said, yeah.
Okay.
So that was in my case. I know in some other people's cases not like that, but in my case, it took this long.
Okay. So how did you feel when you got your green card?
Of course, excited. Who will not be excited when they get the green card?
Okay.
Yeah, I felt very excited. I was like, oh, finally. Wow,
Okay.
wow. Okay.
And can you tell us the benefit and the privilege of having a green card, especially for a medical doctor?
Okay, so if you're someone that likes to travel like me, definitely the benefits start from the airport. So when you get to the airport, you see the difference. The difference is clear. You don't have to bring so many papers. Oh, do you have this? Do you have that? You just show them a single card. When you're coming back, it's so easy. So everything starts from the airport is so easy. Then secondly, as a medical doctor, it also helps in, I think the biggest benefit as a medical doctor is when you are trying to apply for residency, because there are so many residency programs that don't sponsor visa holders. Yeah, so if you have a green card, it opens a lot of doors for you. When you're applying for residency, you can apply broadly, widely, and then just for the fact that you have a green card, they will pick you over someone that needs visa sponsorship, like a J1 visa. So that's one of the biggest benefits for you as a medical doctor. And then, the other benefit for you as a medical doctor is that, like I said previously, some programs don't allow J1 visa holders to do moonlighting. Right? So if you're someone that wants to moonlight during your residency program to get extra money, having a green card is an added advantage for you. You'll be able to do that to earn extra money. That's thirdly. Second. Then the third benefit is after residency, if you want to do like a subspecialty, there are certain subspecialties that, having a green card, like having been on a visa, decreases your chances of getting into those specialties. Take, for example, maybe, you're doing internal medicine, you want to get into cardiology or gastroenterology, for example, those are very competitive specialties, and you having a visa, not like you cannot go in, but it just reduces your chances compared to someone who has a green card. He can easily get into those specialties compared to you. So I think those are some of the benefits.
Okay. How about getting like a full-time job as a doctor?
Exactly. Yeah, that's another benefit, because by the time you're done with your residency, getting a job is very, very, it's easier. I don't want to say very easy, but it's easier everything is always easier compared to a visa holder, because okay, they're like this, like I'm just using internal medicine now because that's the where I am. So as an internal medicine physician, when you're done, you could do I'm trying to remember what is it that they call them, locum.
Fellowship.
So, they call it locum. So if you want to do locum, having a green card enables you to be able to do locum. But if you have a visa, the last time I checked, you can't do locum with a visa. You can't do locum. But as a medical, as a green card holder, you can't do locum. Locum affords you that flexibility to be able to choose your employer to work when you want to work. So you can be able to create that schedule for yourself compared to someone who is on a visa.
Okay. Dr. Frederick, thank you so much for your time. You have shared a lot of information on this platform, and I'm sure my viewers have taken notes, and they are able to apply the knowledge that they have gained from this video.
You're welcome.
So thank you so much. So on this note, I'm going to close today's YouTube interview. So till we meet again, bye to everyone.
Okay. All right. Bye. All right.